Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
All right, everyone. Welcome to another edition of On Deck here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Crispy Bacon with Dirk. How you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. It's still hot here. My high school team, we had a nice hot practice, so I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's pretty warm out there. I was out there earlier doing yard work, and it's like in the hundreds.
Yeah, it was like 99, 100 where I practice. But they're good guys. I did a lot of pitching and hitting. I'm training a new catcher because my only other catcher has an elbow issue, which is the UCL of his elbow, the ulnar ligament. Yes, the Tommy John one. I don't think it's that bad. It was hurting him last week. He does play for an actual high school team, and he just went and overthrew it. So per doctor's orders, he didn't throw for a week, and I haven't let him throw for 3 or 4 more days to do it. And I let him throw a little bit today, just back to the pitcher, normal stuff, no hard throws. And he said it felt fine. So I'm training a new catcher, which is fun. But the kid's real eager, and he seems to have some good instincts. So we'll see. My little Rattlers team, that's what we're called. We're high school Rattlers. Flower Mound, Texas. So
I like that name, Rattlers.
Yeah, it works. Our organization is actually pretty big. It's 3,500, 3,000 kids, somewhere in about that.
Oh, wow.
From 5 years old all the way up to 18, boys and girls. With the softball, we have a bunch of fields over here. They're very nice. Wish I had them when I was a kid. We had backups and bases thrown out on the grass, and we wore jeans and colored T-shirts.
I don't know about jeans. The T-shirts maybe, but
that's
blue jeans. I don't know.
Like the second year I played Little League, we did get like real uniforms. So, but still, it was very haphazard in the fields. And I think what it is all us kids that grew up in the 70s and 80s, we're parents now. We want towns that have good facilities, and all the towns here in North Texas, Plano has them, Frisco has them, youth sports, all the sports, soccer, football, basketball, baseball, and it's all the parents. Yes, we'll pay the property tax to include these fields. So, hey, kudos to the kids. They don't know how lucky they are.
Right. So Brandon's not here, but he is checking in from Minnesota. He's at the Twins game, and he's saying, "Hey guys, stop at the 6th inning. Cubs are winning 2-1." We want Minnesota to win, but hopefully he's having a fun time at the game.
Oh, yeah. It's it's always good to, especially to take your kid to the game. I did see that on Facebook, so hopefully he'll post a picture of 2. I wonder if, Chris, do they have a 2.5 foot long hot dog up there like we do here in Texas?
As far as I know, I think we're the only ones
might be a bratwurst
that have that. Maybe, yeah. But I'm sure Minnesota or any other place has something,
it's popular. They're all doing it now. You can go there and spend $30 on one huge item that can feed 2 or 3 people. So honestly, that's the better way to go if everybody wants it.
There you go. So, also checking, how are the Mets doing?
Well, free fall continues, and They're under 500. They're 7 or 8 games back. They've got their regular lineup back. Lindor, Baez, everybody else. DeGrom should be back in a week. Syndergaard maybe a week or so more. He was getting ready to be back, but he's under COVID protocol right now. But they're just in a free fall. Their record in August was like 8-20. I mean, they are not hitting. And it's been that way the whole year. Pete Alonso, the only one that is really putting up a decent year. Conforto's not hitting. Nimmo's not hitting. J.D. Davis, when he's not been hurt, has been hitting. Jeff McNeil's not hitting. McCann, when he's played, he's been hurt a little bit lately. McCann has done a very good job. He's hitting like he hits, a 260 hitter, 12 to 14 home runs, excellent catcher. And so he's kind of been doing it. But Dominic Smith has not had a good year. It's nobody's gotten hot. Lindor, everybody knows his struggles. He started picking it up and then he went hurt. Baez, since he's got here, he's had a couple of good games, but mostly been bad. The big issue with the Mets right now is the other day, and it really pisses me off, the multi-millionaire baseball players, namely Lindor and Javi Baez, who's only been here for a month, fans are doing them, so they started thumbs downing the fans.
Yeah. Jason's asking that. He's saying, what's your opinion on that?
I hate it. And yes, Jason, I hate it. And the Sandy Alderson has had a talk with the team. I haven't come out with that. Hey, Javi, you've been in Cubs land. You won a World Series. Okay, maybe the Cubs treat you nice. You're being paid millions of dollars. Okay, welcome to New York. And it's the fans' right to boo. Most of the fans make less than $100,000 a year, significantly less. And Mets fans are blue-collar workers. They're not rich people. So when you go out there and you underperform, expect boos. You're making millions and millions of dollars. You live a lifestyle that we cannot even imagine. So you got to get a thicker skin, take the boos, because Mets fans are very loyal. Once you start hitting, once you start playing the way you should play, then it'll turn the cheers and it'll feel good. The stupid thumbs down thing, I guarantee you, has lost a lot of fans. They're probably as pissed as I am. Okay, now they did. Lindor and Baez did issue an apology today. They got to understand you're playing professional sports. Expect boos, okay? Any town, any team, any sport. Expect boos, okay?
Yeah.
Deal with it. Your life, when you go home at the end of the day, after you strike out 5 times, you're going to get a steak and lobster dinner. You're going to have your gorgeous girlfriend or wife right there. You're going to be driven around in a limousine. We watch the game, you underperform and you strike out like this week against the Dodgers and the Giants. The Giants tried to give games to the Mets, and it was 1 run, bases loaded, last inning, 1 hit wins the game. 3 times. Nope. Expect boos, okay? You're too good of a talented team with too many high-priced players. This is not a team of 22-year-olds that are making $600,000 a year, okay? That are finding their way, okay? Kind of like the Texas Rangers, right? What they're going through now. And I live in Dallas, so I see it, okay? We could be the 1993 Mets, the 1979 Mets when we only had Lee Mazzilli, and he was our all-star, a 270 hitter that hit 18 home runs, good center fielder. You know, that was our star player. Okay, you know, you guys got to get real. You know, don't boo the fans. That is the most immature, dumb thing you could have ever done. You know, I wanted Baez to sign with the Mets. I'm not so sure now. He can't handle some booze because he was treated with, probably in Chicago, he was treated with kid gloves, you know?
Yeah.
Lindor, you know, probably he got influenced by Baez. Lindor, all year long, he's been, yes, I'm struggling. But you know what? Lindor is freaking playing gold glove defense. You know, what's up, Baez? You're supposed to be this spectacular, super smart baseball IQ guy. You get picked off base. You run to the wrong base. What the hell? You know, you're making millions. You're young. You're going to play 10 more years and make millions of dollars. And yes, you all say you want to win a championship. But you know what? At the end of your career, when you don't have that championship, you're not going to cry. You're not going to feel sad. You're going to sit there and go, well, I've got my 400 million, you know, big deal. You know, I'm tired of it. And as a Mets fans, we're snake bit every time we turn around. This year, the pitchers get hurt. The hitters aren't hitting. Their lineup, you look at it on paper, it's the best lineup in the NL East, but they're not performing. And you don't need two yo-yos freaking going out there and thumbs downing. I'd have been the loudest one at the stadium if I saw that at the game. As a baseball guy, as a coach, you know, hopefully Luis Rojas lit into them. I know Sandy Alderson had a talk with the whole team, and he didn't like it. And hopefully they respect him because he's only been in baseball for 50 plus years, and he's been part of world championship teams. Okay. He can build us back there. I can go on and on. I'm really annoyed with the whole thing. I want it to go away. The apology is good. Okay. Just perform. You know, they're right at the end of their rope. They have time. If all of a sudden everybody catches fire, they can make a run, you know, but it's, you know, not even 500. That should be a disappointment to every guy in that clubhouse. You know, it'd be different if they finished with 90 wins and finished 3 games out of first and 1 game out of the wild card because everybody else did well. Okay. That meant they had a good year, you know.
Yeah, I think making the playoffs is a good year, even if you don't win a playoff game.
Get some Keonis and stop whining about the fans booing you. That should be the last thing that concerns you. You know, worry about yourself. When you're hitting 300 with 40 bombs, MVP candidate, good. That's what you're paid to do. And you are a good player. You know, Baez, you know, I think you're at fault here. You know, I'm not sure I want you back next year. You know, you'll probably go win a couple of MVPs and stuff. You'll probably re-sign with the Cubs. But you said you wanted to play with Lindor. That was your dream. You guys are friends. You got your dream. You're on a good team. What the hell? You know, it's I'm sorry. I could go on and on.
No, it's good. You're good.
Really pisses me off as a Mets fan. You know, us Mets fans, yes, in New York, we're the second sister. You know, we got the stupid Yankees over there, and now they're freaking hot as hell, and they're going to get in the playoffs and everything, you know, and we're sitting here. We had a better team than they did, you know, but it's the Yankees, and this is what happens.
They decide to take
go through.
They did, yeah. And I think it's something similar to like the Rangers fans because, you know, Jason's also asking what's it like to be a Rangers fan. I guess it's got something similar to that. We're like 32 games, but, you know, 32 games out of first place, and we're not climbing the standings at all, I don't think so.
No, and Jason, Chris, because I live here in Dallas, and I
Yeah.
like the Rangers too. I've lived here 30 plus years, so I like the Rangers. 2010 and 11 was great. They're a
was.
very young team. They weren't expected to win. They knew what was going to be like. They were going to be anywhere from 60 to 75 wins, you know. So they traded away Gallo to the Yankees. I didn't like that, but they're in last place. Hey, but they've got some good young players that are coming up. The past week, they've had 3 rookie pitchers, first-time MLB starters, pitch great, you know, and there's something to look for, okay? Rangers
Oh yeah.
and Mets, their careers, their legacies are eerily similar. They've blown big trades. Mets traded away Nolan Ryan. Rangers traded away Sammy Sosa. You know, there's been just dumb trades. Think their tenure. If you go back 40 years, let's go back from 1970 till now. The Mets and Rangers, it's really odd how similar they are. They've had front office issues. They've had good teams that didn't meet expectations. It's mostly dumb trades, you know, bad drafts, and thing. It's really odd. You know, they are very similar in their, you know, they have a good year every so often, and you think you can build on that, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't happen. You know, and you know, of course, we live in Dallas. It's not a baseball town like New York is. They try to be. It is a football town, and so we deal with that. So, but you know, Ranger fans, you know, they go to the games when the team's good. They cheer. They don't boo a lot. Texans are too polite to do that.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, they'll talk about it. You know, and, oh, we suck. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. But you know, like they are real super young right now. They've actually got a decent farm system now. It's in the top 15 of MLB, between 10 and 15. It's up in there. And we're seeing this week, they've got some actual pitching. They got some good players that haven't touched the major leagues yet. Paul Young or Josh Young, Texas Tech third baseman. He's up in Frisco. Well, he just got moved to AAA down there in Red Rock, hammering the ball all year. 22, 23-year-old guy, great defense, good hitter. They're being patient with him. He'll come up in September, and then next year he might, you know, maybe starts out 2 months in the minors, and then, you know, he seems like a player. He's really good. They've got a few other guys, a couple of power hitters, you know, some good bats. You got Adolis Garcia right now. He's 28, but he came out of nowhere. That's your center fielder or right fielder for the next 8 or 10 years if you treat him right. You know, he's the cornerstone. I felt Joey Gallo could have been a cornerstone. He's only 27. Everybody complains about his batting average, but he's a Gold Glove defense. He hits 40 home runs. He gets on base 38 to 40% of the time, you know, which, you know, you hit 220, 230, but if you have an on-base percentage, that's what everybody looks at. You know, 38 to 40%, that's top 5 in the league every year. He's always on base, good guy, solid player. He'll give you everything you need, you know. So there's my Rangers rant.
No, I mean, I think it's going to be better. And at this point, you know, a lot of the teams that are out of the running, this is probably the point where some of the players that you drafted, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, even maybe now, this is the part of the year where you kind of showcase them. What you say?
Well, you let them play. You know,
Right.
If they're doing well in the minors, if they're up at high, AA, AAA, September, you bring them up. You know, some guys that are maybe high A, they'll bring them up just to get the major league experience, and they'll let him play 1 or 2 games. But a lot of guys, okay, let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do. The veterans know what they're going to be, and
Right.
IKF, he's going to be the shortstop next year. He's really good. He tailed off a little bit as far as batting average and stuff, but he's actually improved every year he played. Earlier in the year, he was hit for a good average, little bit of pop. He's not going to be a home run hitter, but he steals bases, plays awesome defense, and he's a guy you want on your team. If he goes down, if they get a star shortstop that's a blast hitter, well, then IKF, he can be your second baseman, your super utility guy. He's caught, he can catch. He's played all the infield positions. He could probably play outfield, and their pitchers in the minors. Some of these guys, they're throwing 95. They're striking out guys. They're not walking guys. They've got some talent down there. We just have to be patient. They're not going to win next year. If they get close to 500, that would be a good step. You got to look 2, 3, 4 years down the road, just like we did 10, 11, 12 years ago when we got Elvis Andrus and all them guys, and we had Michael Young, who was a young guy. And then they matured in 2008, 2009. And then you had 2010 World Series, 2011 World Series. One pitch away, they win the World Series. And then they were still good for 3 or 4 more years, and then they started tailing off. Michael Young retired. Well, they released him, and he played a couple of years. But, he's Michael Young's a borderline Hall of Famer. If he had like 3 more really good years, he probably would have got to 3,000 hits. He got to around 2,500, 290, 300 batting average, 20 home runs a year, won a Gold Glove or 2. He was close, For me, he reminded me a little bit of David Wright on the Mets, except David Wright, injuries sidelined his career. He had 9 years where he was on the way to the Hall of Fame. He would have been. And then back issues. You look at his first 9 years in the league, he was on pace, 3,000 hits, 400 home runs, Gold Gloves, All-Star. He was on pace, but back injuries. And in sports, when you have a back injury, no matter what you play, all your stuff derives from your back. It hurts to throw. It hurts to swing. It hurts to kick. It hurts to run. Everything is back. And when you get that, it's like, spinal stenosis, ended Michael Irvin's career. And, other guys, they got it 32, 33, 34 years old, and their career abruptly came to an end, But as far as the Rangers, I like the ballpark. It's pretty cool inside. I just don't like inside baseball. When I've gone to a game this year, I'm like, I don't like the ball going. I want to see the blue sky or the night sky with the ball. Maybe at the end of October when I go, we'll have a nice 60-degree night, and we can go to a game with the roof open. But it's a cool stadium. It's cool in there. It's not 100. I mean, I didn't go to day or night games in July and August. It was just too dang hot out there. You just sweat.
Yeah, and that's the one advantage of an indoor stadium, is that it is nice and cool, and you don't have to worry about the Texas heat. But you lose that nostalgia of being outside in a stadium.
Yeah. There is something to be said. Football, to me, when it's inside, I don't notice anything. Baseball, because this year's the first time I ever went into a closed stadium. I was I noticed it immediately, and I was like, wow, you can hear the ball come off the bat, but then when you're watching it, it's just real. I don't know what the word is. It just doesn't feel natural. To me, baseball is sun, sky, dark night, grass, dirt, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
But they kind of had to do that. We'd be in that old stadium right now if they'd put a roof on it when they built it back in 94, because that stadium's beautiful. It's in great shape. It's just hot.
Right.
But hindsight 2020, so
That's true. Before we close out, we're going to do this a little early, but here's some of the scores from around the Major League Baseball. We know the Cubs are facing Minnesota. It's still 2-1, top of the 7th, from what I have.
Come on, Twinkies.
Yeah.
Dig Kirby bucket up.
Yeah, it's still 2-1. Cleveland and Kansas City. Just where'd it go? It left me. Hold on. I don't know why it did. Kansas City was leading. Cleveland was leading Kansas City 7-0. Last time I just saw that. Here we go. Wait, where'd it go now? Maybe that was the end of the game. I don't. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 7-0, top of the 8th. Yankees and Angels. They're just starting. It's at the end of the 3rd inning, tied at 0. Top of the 3rd, the Brewers are leading the Giants 4-0.
Ooh.
I know they're supposed to be. Giants are supposed to be one of those top contending teams.
They're my pick to win the whole thing.
To win the whole thing.
Yep, they are a complete.
Wow.
Like I said last week, I was out there a couple weeks ago, and I went and saw a game. So I studied them up a little more. They're a complete team. They don't have a weakness. Guys coming off the bench, they can field, and they can, and they have a pop. They have pop. They are a great team. And so then I kind of like the Giants. The history, Willie Mays. And all them guys, from back in the 50s and 60s when they were in the heydays, and so it'd be good. A Giants Red Sox World Series would be pretty cool.
That would be cool, yeah.
I'd like the Yankees to fall flat on their face and miss out on everything, but it appears they have their stupid Yank me luck going again.
But you never know. It's a regular season.
When they sign a player for big money, he performs because they study who they sign. Like they didn't get Manny Machado a couple of years ago because he's kind of an idiot. He's a real good player, but they don't want that on their team. You can probably count on one hand the number of free agent signings that have failed in the Yankees over the past 30 years.
Wow.
They do their homework. They get professional players, guys that are dedicated. They don't get goofballs. Machado, goofball, great player, but goofball. They don't get him. He's on the Padres now, and he's a good player. But the Yankees said, "Nah, we don't want that." We'll go get Giancarlo Stanton. Who hasn't lived up to expectations, but this year he's having a good year. He gets booed in New York too. There, Javi and Francisco. And he makes big money like you guys do. Okay, but he produces. Okay, still mad.
Yeah, you hear that other teams. I mean, be like the Yankees, I guess. as far as
I
evaluating
don't
players.
like the Yankees.
But I mean, evaluating players. I don't know.
Because I'm a baseball guy, I respect it. You got to respect 27 World Championships. I did like
Yeah.
Derek Jeter, great player, Bernie Williams, Andy Pettit, them guys, the core four,
Mhm.
and you got to respect that. You can't just say, oh, they suck. They won world championships. They're good. Respect the sport.
Right.
So just do that. You won't see any Yankees doing thumbs down because the fans boo them. I guarantee that would never happen.
Apparently, the Twins are having a pitching change, according to Brandon.
Going in, Brandon? Brandon's going in. He's had enough.
There you go. He's going in. The Braves just started their game. They're going up against the Dodgers. It's 0-0, bottom of the second. And the Astros and Mariners just got started. It's the bottom of the second, or bottom of the first, I should say. Bottom of the first, tied at 0. Both games are.
Okay.
So a lot of games ending, several of them starting up.
East Coast, West Coast, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting down to it.
Final month, 30 and
somewhat
games
gonna be
left.
Some races.
We should know a lot of this by the middle of
Mhm.
September. A good chunk of it.
Yeah, it usually winds up. There's one or two. I think the AL East will go up and down. Boston wasn't playing very well for a bit, but I think they've righted the ship. The Yankees are just red hot. So if they cool off and lose 7 out of 10, they probably won't, but that would be lovely.
It would.
The Giants have been maintained a steady pace, but the Dodgers and the Padres are a little further back. The Brewers doing well. Astros just leading the West. I think they're pretty solid. Thankfully, everybody's forgot about the trash can stuff. I thought that got a little overblown.
It did. I mean, yeah, they shouldn't have done that. But
talking about it, and okay, cheating has been involved in sports, all sports, for well over 100 years. Okay, they took it too far. They got fined. Guys got suspended. In the front office and stuff for a year. Get over it. Just because they beat your team. If you're a good hitter and there's a good pitcher out there, you pretty much should know what he's going to throw you. Okay, don't rely on a freaking cymbal or a bang or he's throwing you a slider. Okay, you know what? Good hitter should hit a slider.
Well, it's like
don't you read your book that pitchers have?
Well, it's like I remember hearing a story about a millionaire who wants to be a millionaire, and this guy his wife was in the audience, and he'd read out the questions, and she would go, depending on what question she read, kind of giving a hint, like, pick that one.
Oh, so he didn't have to use a
lifeline, yeah.
Yeah, lifeline. Wow.
So, I mean, even in game shows, there's been cheating situations.
Hey, when $1 million hanging out there?
Yeah.
What?
I would too. I mean, not like that, but, just find different ways of remembering it, I guess.
Or study.
Or study.
So,
like I said, it's a short show, not a lot going on tonight. Mm-hmm. So, hope everybody enjoyed the show. Dirt, you got 30 to 45 seconds before we head out.
Yep. Let's just, baseball on. There's a saying in the league I coach at here, we go, we say, calm down and baseball on. So everybody, hey, it's baseball. We got another 8 or 9 weeks of it, including World Series. So enjoy it, because the winter gets cold without baseball, and I always miss it. And I always look forward to the first day of spring training. So happy trails. Let's go Mets. Ranger up.
Right. Mets up. And
no more thumbs down there, Javi, or I'm going to boot your butt out of there. Okay? Brandon, hope you pull it out tonight.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy the game. Maybe, next week you can come on and, tell us what you thought of the game tonight and your experience at the Twins Stadium, and talk about all the stuff going on leading into the final month of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Sports Minute is tomorrow here on Coast to Coast, and we have a lot of great shows, so make sure to tune in. Check out our Facebook page. With that, I'm Crispy Bacon. And with me is Dirt. Hope you guys have a great evening, and see you guys next week for another On Deck. Have a great night.
Okay. Good night. Cheerio.